Hello, today I am showing you guys a tutorial on how to tween in alight motion. Open your drawing app. I recommend Ibis Paint if you don't have one already. Select My Gallery. Make a new drawing by tapping the plus up here. I have highlighted it in red for you guys to see. After tapping the plus, there will be a lot of options. I have shown them here in the screenshot. I advise you to go with the one highlighted, but I will be using an already existing drawing. Now we are going to draw something to tween, and to start your drawings, you should have a sketch first. I have previously drawn a character sheet from the other recording, but my record stopped. So I'm doing the process again for the tutorial's sake. So do the sketch however you like, but I have a sketch already done, and a sketch is pretty basic, and I think you guys can all do it. So I will show you the next step. Now we are doing the separated parts. I like to use the mirroring tool to draw, but you don't have to. I have highlighted the mirroring tool in red for those who want it. Now we will draw the separated parts. So draw each limb on a different layer. Select this to go to layers, then select the plus to add a layer, then tap that layer to go onto it, so you're not drawing everything on the same layer. Now that you're on a different layer, you can start drawing the parts on different layers. Remember to draw each part on a different layer. If requested in the comments, I will make a tutorial on the basics of drawing in Ibis Paint. I will speed this part up because I think you guys know how to draw on different layers. Do what I do and leave small spaces for where the limbs end on the limbs at the top of the section. I have shown an example on screen. That rule applies with arms and legs. It can apply for other things like hair, but today we are learning the basics. After all the limbs are done, you can arrange them in the correct way. This way it will be easier to import and manage when we are using alight motion. If you have any problems, you can fix them, like how I did here. And if you can't fix them, say what the problem is on the comments and I'll try to help you. Now that the drawing part is done, make all the layers invisible by selecting the eye icon. Do that to all of them except one. Save the part with a transparent background and then do that with every other part. Use the lasso tool, circle a limb, then go to layers and duplicate. This will duplicate the circled image. After the circled image, if duplicated, do not unselect area, but go clear area on the layer with both limbs. I will show an example on screen. Do that for every part, but make sure you have the parts visible when you're working with them. You can make them visible again by selecting the eye icon. You can tell if the layer is visible because the eye icon will be gray instead of white. Make sure you circle it neatly and don't include the other limb, making them completely separated, like shown on screen. Also make sure to save the image as transparent PNG, like shown earlier. I've sped this up because it was just me finishing off the other parts. Now we can move on to the next stage. Sort the parts again if you have to, but I will be going on to alight motion now. If you don't already have alight motion, I highly recommend you download it. It's a free app for tweening and editing. I use it for all my animations. An ad will pop up every time you use the app. Just close it by tapping the X in the top left corner. Press the plus in the bottom middle to make a new project. I recommend using the option that best suits your device. If you're in phone, use portrait size, but if you're on iPad like me, use landscape. I also advise you to use a setting on low graphics and low frames per second. This will avoid lag. When you're done, select Create Project. This will cause another ad to pop up. Just press the X in the corner again. Now, all the steps we are going to do could be considered hard by people who are new to tweening. So please comment if you have problems and I will try to answer them. But now, since there are a lot of steps, just follow the red arrow I have shown because it will show where to go to do things. I will try to explain this as easily as I can. We are going to import the images. Select a part from the drawing we did earlier. Press the plus to import it. Now do that with all the other parts. If you accidentally added something you don't want, press the bin icon. It will get rid of it. Now that we are done importing all the parts for the character, we are going to do some basic grouping. Don't be scared by this word because grouping is actually very easy. Select the parts for the head, such as face, hair, and head. You select them all by holding down on the space next to the eye icon. You can tell if it's the part you want by touring it invisible and visible again. The image will flash and you will then know what image you have selected. Select the parts for the face. And after that, select group. This will put all your parts in a group so that they can all move as a group. Now we are going to do this with all the other parts. Don't worry, it will be easy. Select parts and group them. Now we are going to set the pivot points so the part will move as if it is connected. Select a group by tapping it once and don't hold down. Now go to Movement and Transform. It will bring you to this. You can control the placement of the image here, but if you tap the move icon again, you can control pivot points. So do that. You move the pivot points by holding your finger down here and moving it around. I know this is pretty ineffective, but just try to move the pivot point to the top of the group. Right now I have the head selected, so I'm going to move the pivot point to the neck. For the arms, move the pivot point to the start of the arm, which is at the shoulder. For the legs, move the pivot point to the start of the leg, which is the thigh. You can look at the screen as an example. I'm pretty tired and bored right now, so just follow the arrow as the text will go unless there is something important. Pivot point at the knee. This is a keyframe. It sets starting and ending positions for moving. If you have no keyframes, your character will be idle. Add keyframe by tapping it. That will put a keyframe. Then scroll down to a few seconds later and add another keyframe. Look at this. This is the rotation. We will rotate the leg with this. Drag it around a bit to however you like. Now, velocity. Do whatever. It doesn't really matter which setting you use for this. Also, if you aren't within the section that the part is moving, the velocity won't apply to the part that is moving. Get out by following the red. Now that you know how to move parts, do whatever you want, even if you just want to leave the one part moving and nothing else. Here is me moving my character. Also, sorry for bad tutorial. If you can't understand my terrible grammar, I can make a more simpler tutorial. But I don't even know anymore, so watch the rest of the video if you want, or don't. It doesn't matter. The only hard thing there was editing this video because it took me 5 hours. I'm not even joking, KMS. I will show you how to save though. Thanks you guys. Thank you and thank all for watching my stuff. I will post eSpeeder tutorial tomorrow. Goodbye. At 10 at night for me. I sleep.